Good evening. We're about to start our next conference, and the title is Effective Messaging, the Elevator Speech by Brey. So please give her an applause.
All right, welcome back everybody. So you had your coffee, your cookie. Did anybody bring me a cookie? No? Okay, that's all right. I'll be fine. A what? A churro. Oh my gosh. No, that's okay because I'm too fat already. All right, we'll stop there. Welcome back. We're going to talk about giving an elevator speech. And I know several of you said you know all about this elevator speech business. So I'm hoping that you will help other people in the room. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you how to give an elevator speech in 4 easy steps. And then we're going to each write our own elevator speech and practice it on each other. And then I'm going to ask a few brave souls to come up here and role play their elevator speech for everybody else. So you can show us how it should be done. Does that sound like fun? A lot of you came back, so you're very brave. I'm really proud of you. Okay, so here we go. What is an elevator speech? Can anybody tell me who hasn't already read this? What's an elevator speech? Anybody? Of course, we have the answer right up there. But Donnie, tell me what you think an elevator speech is. You want to?
It's like you get in the elevator and you have a very short time to convince a person that your idea is a great idea and that the person should invest in a project or something like that.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat what she just said because she refused to speak in the microphone. No, I'm just kidding. So she said, you're on an elevator with a very important person and you have a very short time to convince that person of the importance of your idea or project, right? So that's really what it is. And let me tell you my elevator speech story. I used to work in El Paso, Texas. I think that was mentioned the first time they read my bio, where I was the library director. I was the director of a system of public libraries in El Paso. And we had, at that time, this building no longer exists, but at that time, City Hall was in a 10-story building. So, and the mayor's office was up on the 10th floor, as was my boss's office, the city manager. So I frequently was in that elevator, going up to my boss's office, coming back down. And so I often had a chance to talk to the mayor or one of the city council members or other important people that worked in that building. Because my office was in another building in the library 2 blocks away. So, for example, I might, could I have a volunteer right now? In fact, I think I need a volunteer right now to play the mayor of El Paso. Very important job.
Yeah, water.
Yeah, sure, come on up.
It's very shy.
You don't really have to do very much. Come on, somebody. Yeah, come on up. All right. Yeah, you can be mayor for a minute. It's 30 seconds. It's really easy. And all you have to do is just ask me how things are going at the library. So, as a mayor. So we're getting on the elevator. Okay, so you're on the elevator already. And I'm pressing the button. Door opens. Hi, Mr. Mayor. How are you? Remember me? I'm the library director.
Sort of. So how are things doing at the library?
Oh, we are doing so well. You know that new building project you approved for the branch on the east side? Yes, you did approve it. You did. And we are in the process of constructing it right now. And soon we will be providing service for 30,000 more people on the east side. It's so exciting. I hope you will come visit, will you?
Sure, 30,000 you said, sure, I'll go.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, you can bring your guitar and sing a song. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Here's our floor. So, what do you think? Not that difficult, right? But I had to know ahead of time, if I run into the mayor, this is what I want to tell him, right? I want to tell him about the new branch on the east side, which he's very interested in. And I was constantly, when I was driving to work in the morning, I was always thinking about what will I say if I see the mayor or if I see the city manager. And sometimes I would even practice. Like if I had a really difficult speech to deliver, I would go and practice in front of the mirror. I still do that sometimes. Giving speeches in Portuguese, still hard for me. Guess what? I practice in front of the mirror. Did you know that, Tanya? So when I'm giving a speech in Portuguese, I practice in front of the mirror. So, okay. So that's what it is. It should be very quick. We were pretty quick, weren't we? I bet it was less than a minute. So, as you're writing your speech, you're going to imagine that you are in an elevator. And you know what? You may not have an elevator. I understand that in your building. That's okay. They call it the elevator speech, but it could also be the corridor speech, or the parking lot speech, or the coffee shop speech, anywhere where you don't have a lot of time to talk. So here we go, 4 easy steps. First of all, choose your audience. Who are you giving this speech to? Maybe it's your president of the board. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's the ambassador from the embassy in your town. Maybe it's a student. Maybe it's a teacher, an important teacher that you really want to talk to. It could even be the press. You know, once you have your message down, you can give that message to anybody. It's really true. All right, so think about your audience. Then you're going to develop your key messages. And this is very important. I want you all to watch this carefully. On your table, I think, and if you don't have one, please raise your hand and maybe one of my friends here will take one back there for you. Please take a piece of paper off of this very important J.W. Marriott pad right now. Just one piece of paper is all you need. Like that, one sheet. Take it and fold it in half. Like this. I know this is really difficult, but stay with me. Okay, everybody got it folded? Once you have your piece of paper, fold it in half. Okay, there's paper coming around. And when you are writing your elevator speech, I want you to put it on this little piece of paper. And you can't write small. 3 points, 3 major points that you're going to include in your elevator speech. I encourage you to keep it to 3. Do not make it 5, do not make it 10. You're going to lose the ambassador's interest if you do that. Because frankly, these are very busy people often that we're talking to. So one of your points might even be, when can we talk about this some more? Or I'd like to contact your office and talk to you about this some more. Remember I told the mayor that we were going to open this new library and we wanted him there. And he said okay, but I know I still have to contact his office and make sure it's on his calendar, or he may forget because he has lots of other things to do, right? Okay, so your message should be very clear, 3 points, concise, memorable. Now, how do you make it memorable? If you can, incorporate a brief, very brief story. Like, for example, I told the mayor that this was the library that he approved, and it was going to serve 30,000 people on the east side. That's a really brief story, but it's pretty powerful, right? The one thing I left out is, remember, we have never had a library in that neighborhood. If I'd said that, it would have made it an even more interesting story, right? Mr. Mayor, you know, the east side where we've never had a library, now we're going to have one that will serve at least 30,000 people. That's a big deal if they've never had a library before, right? But I got that all in like 30 seconds. And even if I'd said, well, we've never had a library before, I think I still would have probably been under a minute. So sometimes when I say tell a story, people think, oh, once upon a time when I was 10. No, not that kind of story. Because if you say that, he's already on the 10th floor and gone, right? So you want to tell a brief, you want to just incorporate a couple of like personal interest points, right? Something that you think that person might be interested in. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, yes? Okay, good. Just making sure you're still with me. If you can have a punchline and make it funny, that's even better, I think. I think humor always helps, but you know your audience better than me. Step 4, write it down, like we said, on your half a sheet of paper here. And then practice. And practice some more. And practice until you never ever have to look at this piece of paper again. Right? Because you want to make it so natural that... Was I believable, by the way, when I talked to the mayor? Did you feel like I was the library director talking to the mayor? Yeah. And that's because I have been doing this for so long that it's pretty easy for me to remember what it was like to talk to a mayor. I did that for 30 years in different places. Of course, I started when I was 10, like I said. But anyway, if you practice to the point where you can just say it naturally, it will have so much more impact. Obviously, if you're reading from a piece of paper, not going to have much impact, right? So practice it with your family, practice it with your friends, practice it in front of the mirror, practice it with your cat or your dog or anybody who will listen. And the other benefit of this practice is that you'll be telling a whole lot of other people your message. You know, like I see my neighbor next door and I say, hey, Iris, did you know we're building a new library just down the street? Or did you know that we've suddenly opened our binational center in the evenings for anybody who wants to come in and practice their English? Right? Just think about how you can start tailoring your message to other people. Maybe it's a little more formal for the ambassador or your board president, but maybe for your next door neighbor it's a little more informal. And the more you give it, the more natural it becomes. Right? Those of you who've done this, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, great. So now, we're going to do it. So, I would like you to take some time. We'll start with maybe 5 minutes and see how far you get writing your elevator speech, because remember, it's going to be short. Well, in fact, we'll say 5 to 10 minutes, because I'm going to give you time to write your speech and then practice it with your neighbor. Everybody got that? Write your speech and practice it with your neighbor. So we'll take 5 to 10 minutes to do that. I'll check in with you. Questions? Any questions? Great. Okay. Oh, and I've got my trusty friend and fellow IRO, Sheila Weir, is here. I think Merdula is here somewhere. She was. And so we can help you. If you need help, we're going to wander around and help.
No,
marketing coordinator.
Yeah, so Kelsey's done this before. And he was one of our stars. He did a great job. Maybe we should get him to demonstrate. Oh my God! That's a good idea. Okay, so does anybody need more time to either write their speech? Yes? Okay, we'll take 2 more minutes. We're going to wrap it up and get some people to come up here and show us their skills. Oh my gosh, we have a volunteer already. All right, now, what we think we're going to do here, I see you back there, Gabriella, we'll get you too, all right? We would like for you to pick who you'd like to give this speech to. Okay, good, so come on up. Can you get the microphone?
Thank you. Hey, Chelito, good to see you. So, let me tell you, guess what? I'm going to give a presentation tomorrow, and believe it or not, it's not going to be about Venezuelan politics at all. But it is what we did to celebrate our 75th anniversary at CBA. You've got to come, you're not going to regret it, you're going to love it because we are bringing tons of tips. So I really hope to see you there tomorrow.
I'll be there.
Excellent.
So what'd you think? He did well, huh? What was good about his speech? Somebody tell me. What did you like about it? He was so excited. He was very enthusiastic. Right, there was really good eye contact there. Good point. He was very at ease. He was very comfortable giving this speech. What else? He also had a point, right? Something that you would remember. We have this thing going on tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. You know, you want to be there. 75th anniversary, right? Good. Any other comments? All right, good job. We have people waiting in the wings here. Wow. Okay.
We are represented BNC. She is my president of the board of directors, and I am institutional relation manager. And I ask for some important. Good morning, Mrs. Sean. How are you? Va de nuevo. Again. Good morning, Mrs. Sean. How are you?
Hello, Gabriela. How are you?
Fine. Do you remember the project I had mentioned you during the Independence Day celebration?
No, really not.
No? Yeah, remember. Is it related to the acts to the embassy and a small grant?
Oh, yes. It's about what?
Do you remember if we it's about to ask a small grant for the blues singers being louder.
Of course. Tomorrow we will call Nori of the embassy. Yes.
To ask for a small grant.
Yes. Yes. She will give us the money.
Okay. Thank you so much. Tomorrow I will contact Norris and she will say me what to do. What is supposed we have to do?
Stay here a minute, ladies. So you are representing the president. Okay. So that was why she had to tell you what you didn't remember, right? Okay, very good. Now I understand better. All right, it was a little bit long, ladies, and I realized I was coming up here to get my phone because I'm going to start timing you all now. See how long it goes. But I think that otherwise, what did you think? Give her some feedback. It was clear what she wanted to do, right? They obviously like each other. What else? Informal. She had a nice informal tone. Gabriela did. Just maybe a little bit long. I would get to the point faster if you can. And sometimes that's hard because you got to do the niceties. Like she said, "Board President, how are you? I love your dress. Oh, that scarf is amazing." And now I got to tell you something important in less than a minute, right? So yeah. So I would just practice finding a way to get to the point a little faster. And I know that's not our culture in Argentina necessarily either, right? Or in some of our other countries, right? So maybe you're going to do the minute-and-a-half elevator speech.
Sometimes it's harder when the president has many things in her mind and it's not easy.
Okay, good job though. Very good job. All right. All right, who's next? Nobody else? Oh, okay, good. I was going to say, I can't believe that we're giving up so fast.
So I work in a private sector, and I'm looking for someone to invest in our project. Hi, Lucia. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Lucia, did you know that nowadays innovative corporations usually take a social stand?
Yeah.
We are currently developing a plan to raise people's interest in 3D printing and 3D printers to help people with special needs. Would you like to associate your corporation with our project?
Sure, I would love to associate with the project.
Yeah, it was 27 seconds. But what if she said no? What were you going to do? Wait.
Stop the elevator.
Oh, well, that could work. No, but yeah, well, I would try to talk to her heart and try to tell her about the real lives that we could help and how we could make a difference. And hopefully she would invest in the project.
I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot, but I have one more question, because I know Donnie's really good at this. So, all right, so say I said, gee, I don't know, can you tell me more? What would you say?
Well, nowadays we talk a lot about developing business and helping people to put businesses together that can really make a difference. So here, this is your chance.
Oh, I like it. That's really good. What do you think? This is your chance. You don't want to miss it. I mean, somebody else is going to take it tomorrow, right? Good job. All right, applause for them. Okay. Okay, who's next? All right, Kelsey. Kelsey's a veteran, too, of this training, so this better be good.
Going down. Hi, Mrs. Ambassador. I like your hair. How are you today? Yeah, nice. You know what? We are working to reach public schools. We are teaching them English, and also we had American Spaces activity with them. Are you interested to support us, giving us a car or a bus to develop this kind of program?
Okay, just email that to me.
Okay, tomorrow I'm going to send you an email. Thank you. Bye. Going out.
Going out.
Thank you.
That was too easy, too. Wow. Yeah. She was easily convinced. Very nice ambassador. So that was it. Do you have feedback? You look like you want to say something. Okay. So it was 37 seconds. So that was really quick. 37 seconds. No, it's okay. You have up to a minute. I'm giving you up to a minute because, sometimes you do have to say nice things first, right? And a little chit-chat. So let me ask you the same question. What would you have done if she said no? If she said, well, I don't know. Tell me some more.
It's because we had this program in our BNC, and we're still working with poor kids, people in the rural zone. So as a BNC, can we got a grant for this kind of activity, for this kind of program? Or how can we develop this program with American Spaces budget?
Yeah, and you assume that your ambassador really likes the BNC.
Yeah.
Right?
Because she knows.
She knows it. Yeah. Yeah. Most ambassadors do like BNCs pretty well, I think. So, okay, good.
She's in like PNC, so she knows about all our activities.
Yeah, good.
But I know what I tell her.
And do you talk to the ambassador very often?
No.
No. Okay, so it's also kind of a formal conversation. Yeah, well, there you go. Right. And that's what she said, because I'm in a hurry, so send me an email. That was good. Okay. Any other comments for these two?
I would just be very careful mentioning the details on like the personal image of a woman, especially. That might get the impression that there's a different agenda going on. So yeah, I would not say that.
Maybe not comment on the hair.
Yeah.
Today's society is a little dangerous.
Yeah.
You could say,
Boy, great job on that speech you gave last week, or something like that, if you want to compliment, instead of what she's wearing. Okay, good point. Thank you. All right, who's next? I saw some hands up back there. All right, come on down, ladies. I feel like I'm on, what is it, The Price is Right? Come on down.
Just to introduce my speech.
Don't look scared, it's fun. There you go. Oh, wait, we're going to film it right here.
Two, please. By the way, Mary, are you married? Oh, I am happy to meet you. Aren't you nominated to be president of the board of directors for 2017? I guess so. Okay, yes. And I just arrived from Houston, and I want to tell you that I think that it is very important to transform our library. It was a goal highly considered in ABLA. I hope to get your support.
Well, we can see that in the next meeting. That will be next month. And probably in 2 or 3 months you get the answer. Yes? Isn't that what board of directors do? Yes? Okay, yeah, why not? Hope to see you again, right? Bye.
Good job. So that was just exactly 1 minute. That was just exactly 1 minute, and I think it was very realistic. What do you think, right? You could kind of see, I mean, they obviously don't talk all the time, because she said, "Are you married?" Yes, I am, and how did you know I was going to be president of the board, right? But then when she said, "I just came from Houston and I want to talk to you about transforming our library," she didn't say changing our library, renovating our library. She said transforming. That was a very good, powerful word. And I think it got her board president's attention right away. And then, of course, you've got the usual bureaucratic stuff about, well, sure, bring it to the meeting and we'll look at it and we'll make a decision. But, I think her speech was very powerful. And the only thing I would say is, obviously, you won't read it when you're really doing it. Right. You'll get it memorized. Right. Very good. Yeah, in a real situation, you don't have time to read. So, any other comments? Anything? Okay, good.
I liked how she opened it up with a very personal thing. She did open it up like, oh, I know a fact about you that might impress you that I know about. Because that's kind of what it seemed to me when she said that.
Kind of connect, right? Yeah, good. All right, I think we have time for, well, I don't know what time we're supposed to end in here. I don't know if we end at 6 or 6:15. We started at 5:15, so we can do, let's do like 1 or 2 more. Anybody else would like to do one? Okay. Oh, okay, good, yeah, she said this was really good. She will do it. Okay, I'll do it, sure.
Good morning, Luis Fernando. I heard that you...
How are you? Tell me your name again.
Adriana.
Adriana. Oh, it's nice to see you.
Thank you. I heard that you were selected again for the president of the board of directors. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. It's a lot of work, but I really enjoy it.
Last week, I attended the ADLA conference in Houston, and
Yeah. So it was good.
yes, it was really good, and I was really impressed for the conference of the county library. They have been doing the maker spaces for already 3 years, and they have been doing it very successfully. And they did around 300 activities, impacted 100 people.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so I don't really know what a makerspace is, but maybe you could come by my office sometime and talk to me about it a little bit more, because it sounds really interesting. Would you do that?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good. No, that was very good. I think she was a little bit nervous. Were you a little bit nervous? Just a little? But she handled it very well, because she was very respectful, very friendly, and she didn't get, I was trying to kind of throw her off a little bit, and she wouldn't allow me to throw her off. She stayed on message, right? So, I mean, you never know. I've had bosses that are like that too. They're like, "Oh, Lucia, we missed you so much. Where have you been?" You're like, "I just want to tell you what I did. I don't really want to go through all the other stuff." Right? But, so anyway, I had a boss like that one time where she'd get me so flustered I'd forget what I came to talk to her about. So, but anyway, no, it's very good, very much on message, and you won't need those notes pretty soon, right? Because you will have it right up here. Good. Okay. All right. So now the grand finale. So.
Aldo. Just Alberto just came out. He was the appropriate one. But okay. Well, she's the investor. She's the investor. She's concerned not only in making profit of the project, but she's concerned about social aspect of the investment. Okay. Hello. Oh, it's nice. Yeah, nice to meet you here. I just got the right project for you.
Oh, really?
You are
You
not.
said you had the right project last week, but do you have a new project?
Yes, I have a new project. I now have a new project for you. And I assure you, 25% of your capital return of your capital, and I assure you to benefit a lot of people.
Really? So tell me, because I've heard this before.
Well, yes.
I'm not sure.
It's just an urbanization that you can buy lands, either lands or either houses, small houses, economic houses. It is very close to a cement factory. You know, it's a cement factory, and that assures you the value of your land. You are going to have, apart from the profit, you are going to have a value added of your land.
But what about the people? You said
Yes, the people, the social aspect. You know, that you are going to. With your investment, you are going to generate a lot of employment. You know, there is a need of employment in that place. You know, and apart from that, you are going to generate taxes for the municipality. No, with those taxes, local government, with those taxes, they are going to invest in
put it in the school.
Yes, put it in the school.
I like the whole concept. Thank you very much. So by next week,
Okay.
bring your plans.
Okay.
And then we'll talk to my secretary.
And what time I can visit you?
Good question. Okay, I got it. Talk to her. She'll figure it out.
Okay. Take care.
Okay, very good job. And this was a little more difficult one because it was a little more complicated subject, right? It's a hard one to explain in a short period of time. But I think you had good talking points, good solid talking points. And, you know, Sheila didn't throw you off too much with her questions, I don't think. And it was good when you got to the point of, you know, well, she was the one who prompted you to say, talk to my secretary. But if she hadn't, you could have always said, you know, may I contact you with more information? Because she was clearly like walking away, kind of, you know. So when you see that, you know, when you read the body language, you know, when you can tell like they're looking at their phone or, you know, something happens that the conversation is going to end real soon, just make sure you know, get in that last message like, you know, please let me talk to you about this some more. May I call you next week, or may I call you tomorrow about it, you know, and don't let it, you know, don't let that live one get away, right? So, yes, exactly. Make sure that the communication does not get cut off, right? So, what do you think though? Good job? Yeah? Okay. Great. And thank you to Sheila, our actress, also. So I think it went, I hope you enjoyed this exercise. I think you all, the speeches I heard were very good. I also talked with some of you around the room, and you had some really good concepts in mind. So just don't forget to go home and what? Practice. Right. And I wish you lots of success with your strategic plans and with your messaging, with the people that need to understand what you're doing with your plans. And I wish you just the greatest success with your binational centers and all your efforts, because that's what this is all about, right? So, all right. Thanks, everybody. See you at the barbecue.
On behalf of Outlet 2016, we thank you very much for your participation.
Sure.